Well, good evening, West Ham fans. Is Vladimir Coufal unhappy? Yes, everybody, Russell West Ham Network. Hope you're having a nice evening. I'll bring to you some news that was published in the Sun about Vladimir Coufal. Obviously, we heard the news, the official news about Thomas Souček signing a new contract which lasts until 2027. I want to say off the top of my head, it was signed back in November, but the club have just decided to announce it today on New Year's Day. But could his Czech counterpart be unhappy? Well, actually, the reports say he's furious. He's not just unhappy, he's furious at West Ham. In the Sun reported today that he is furious with the Hammers over a contract dispute and may now be ready to quit the London Stadium. We shared some news a few days ago, maybe a couple of weeks ago, really. 2023 went very, very quickly, so it could have been a couple of weeks ago, saying that basically the Hammers, we took up the option to extend his deal. We had an option to take up for another year extension, which we have done. But apparently, the Czech Republic right back, fan favourite, and his representatives are unhappy over the time it's taken us to decide. And indeed, he was apparently even talking to his representatives were talking to other clubs potentially about coming in for him in the summer, if not January, before obviously the 1 year extension was taken up. It's believed that Vlad feels he deserves better from the club and actually deserves a longer deal to remain at the club for the future, as he believes he's been an integral part for the Hammers and is now considering his options ahead of a potential exit. Obviously, we took up the 1 year option, but he thinks that particularly the likes of Thomas Souček getting a new deal to 2027, Jared Bowen for a 7 year deal earlier this year as well, earlier last year. God, 2024 now, Russ, that he should be rewarded for the fact that he's playing such an integral part. He is basically our recognised right back. He is our only right back, really, with the likes of Ben Johnson being his replacement if anything happens to him. Also, Tilo Kehrer potentially leaving for Monaco imminently. There's no arguing his stature. I think last year he sort of went off the ball a little bit, but he's come back with a vengeance this year, that's for sure, and has contributed to the Hammers no end since joining from Slavia Prague a few years ago, especially through our run to the 2023 Europa Conference League triumph last year. He's becoming a huge ever present in the team, real fan favourite, and I think he's probably within his rights actually to demand a slightly longer deal than a 1 year add-on. To be honest, although some of his performances have been a bit hit or miss, he, in particular, the last sort of half dozen games, has really sort of put the foot down and almost been like the Vlad of old, so to speak. We know he gets absolutely rinsed with genuine pace, but he has been a stalwart for us. I mean, despite obviously his perception of deserving more, West Ham are well within their rights to hold off on a longer deal, especially with the fact that he isn't getting younger. He's 30, 31. Maybe a fresh long-term replacement may be needed. The likes of Carl Walker-Peters is someone we've been looking at, as well as I no doubt a dozen younger right backs, maybe even Dan Chesters, who's moved to a more right wing back position in the under 21s, potentially, as a suitor for him. Given how much he's given to the club, it doesn't need to come down to a rift, so to speak, between the two parties. I think the club maybe should have offered him another a bit more than 1 year deal, but contractually that's all they had to offer. So it is the paper it's been written on, unfortunately. And I don't think, he still has a good few years in him, a couple of years at least, I'd say. But obviously, we need to identify a long-term replacement at right back, that's for sure. We'll see what happens in terms of whether an interested club comes in for him. Obviously, by having that 1 year extension, we do maintain his value for another year. We'll see. We'll see. I think it depends. We know this Stein, he's bringing in younger players, and at not the tail. He's almost at the tail end of his career, Vlad. But I sort of understand. When you see the likes of Tommy Suchek getting longer deals, when you see the likes of Vlad, Jared Bowen getting long deals. Yeah, he doesn't score the goals, but he's got a lot of assists this year, and arguably he's probably past his best, but I can understand both parties here, to be honest. It's like we took the 1 year, the club took the 1 year extension because that's within their rights to do it. He feels like they deserve a little bit more. Yeah, maybe a 2 year deal, but then again, you don't be tied down for someone, who could be approaching 33 by the end of his contract, maybe. So rock and a hard place. Rock and a hard place, I think, there, to be honest. But that's what he's reported today in the Sun, that he is unhappy with the time. I think the timing took a long time to put that extension in. The fact is, if we could have probably done that at the beginning of the season, potentially. But I don't know, Russ. Don't know. But we'll see what happens with him. But that's what's been reported, that he's unhappy with the length of contract, or the length of time it's taken to extend the contract. So look, we'll see. Keep an eye on the channel. We'll have some more news coming out tomorrow. Some more rumours. Rumours aren't going to stop next couple of weeks for sure. And also looking forward to the Brighton game tomorrow. If you're going, bring your boots, because it seems like we haven't got any players neither in Brighton, so you might get a game. Anyway, take care, stay safe, stay warm, stay humble, keep the faith, my friends, and have a good evening. Bye-bye.